Hello, everybody. Welcome back to yet another episode of our series Power People, which profiles the usos of the music industry. And today, on this very, very special episode, we have with us none other than Indian playback singer Nikita Gandhi. We welcome you here today, Nikita.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So, Nikita, firstly, tell us about your journey so far in this industry.
um, it's been, I'm just so grateful to be doing what I'm doing now because I never imagined I would be singing in films and performing in front of people and singing for a living, waking up every day and doing music. So it's honestly been such a beautiful journey, such an accidental journey because it started off in when I was in college pursuing medicine. I was in dental school
Oh,
and in Chennai, and that's where I met Rahman sir and started singing in Tamil films. So life took a very musical turn for me when I was in college, and very unexpectedly so, which is super exciting because I didn't start with like reality shows. It's not like something that I was trying
yeah.
really hard to become. Um, but it still happened, and I got to sing. I've been singing for some of the finest composers, artists of the country. So it's been just an absolutely really cool journey.
So, Nikita, your voice has such a unique texture that stands out in Bollywood. How do you discover and, shape your signature sound, basically?
I don't think I've really put so much thought into this. The most thought I've put is when people ask me this. Because, like, obviously, I don't, like, it's very instinctive. I don't really think about how to sound a certain way. This is like my natural voice. Uh,
Yeah.
but I'm very grateful that others have identified it to be cool and unique and have implemented it in some of the biggest songs out there. So I'm really grateful for I guess meeting the right people and being in the right rooms and being discovered by the biggest and the baddest in the industry.
In the industry.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So from the chart busters like Kafirana, Rapta to high energy, dance tracks, you've shown versatility in every sense. So what's your process to adapt to such different modes?
Well, I think the song kind of guides
Yeah,
you to where you need to be, right? Because when I was singing Kafirana, the song, the instrumentation, the composition, the tune itself was, so giving of what I need, how I need to sound. And sometimes, of course, I mean, it's the composer's vision, where
yeah.
they see you in a certain light, and they want to bring that side of you out because we all have different sides as artists that we think are very natural to us and some that other people want to hear more of. So it's always like a mixture of that. But most of the time I think the tunes, the melodies are so self-explanatory that you know exactly what to do.
That's great. So you have recently, I think, partnered with the Hello Group for international management. What excites you most about this new phase, and how do you see it shaping your global journey as an artist in this time?
I've as a playback, as someone who started off as a playback singer
Yeah.
first and then started exploring singles and releasing my own music. I think my journey's been a bit not in maybe in the right order. A
Hmm.
lot of people start off independently, then they get into
Yeah.
more mainstream stuff. So I started with mainstream, commercial, Bollywood, and I'm doing the pop stuff as well. So for me, I think it's always been a struggle for me to find a team that envisions both these Nikitas to be one person. Um,
Yeah.
and and when I chatted with their CEO, and we only spoke about music and
Yeah.
about what I'm going to release,
Mhm.
and not about shows and income streams. It was more about
Mhm.
what is my vision as an artist. So it was very exciting for me because they think the way I think, and they're planning my journey around the music that I'm going to release, and they want both these Nikitas to be one person. So I think that's really what aligned for me with the Hello Group, and I'm excited because it's very new, very early to tell what's in
Yeah.
store, but we've already been, we're already in the writing process and getting collaboration sorted and everything. So, um, there's going to be a lot of music where you see me in the in the video, and it's my pop journey that's going to kind of obviously with film interspersed, and so there's definitely a
Yeah,
new chapter for me.
definitely, definitely. So your new single has just dropped. So
Yes.
and at the same time, you're launching the Snake project which Shashwat sings. Tell us about that more.
So Schnick is actually something that we started writing this kind of music from around the lockdown. The
Okay.
song we just dropped is called Kari, which was
Okay.
actually the first song that we wrote together. I mean, we've written a lot of music together, Shashwat and I. But this had a very distinct sound, which
Mhm.
was folk, but it was hip hop. And it's a genre that I think is not very core. Like, it's not Nikita core, it's not Shashwat core, because I'm like a pop artist. I'm a Bollywood artist. Even he's a playback singer, and he's known for his really pretty soulful voice. So we
Yeah.
both have very distinct careers that don't align with Schnick. Um, but we're writing music like this, and we're having so much fun writing it because it's such a cool space to, it's very Coke Studio esque. It's
Yeah.
modern, it's old school, it's all mixed together. So we thought that, this needs to be a new entity. This is neither Nikita, this is neither Shashwat, nor Shashwat. So we, like, why not start a duo? And this is like sort of what we've built together on the side apart from our solo careers. And that's how Schnick was born. And all the songs that we're going to release as Schnick is going to have this unique sound.
Oh, wow, that's great.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to it. But recently, Nikita, your new song Awaaz Aav also released, and it's trending all over the reels. I must say, it's my favorite song right now. I must say.
Thank you.
So, can you sing two lines for it?
Yeah, sure. Like yesterday, I screamed so much
I
to my
would love
bandmates.
to know about the journey that you have had with, Watu team for this song and everything.
This song, I have literally lived this song for more than a year
Because
because.
the video and the song, it's just so beautiful. I just love
Yeah, thank you so much. I mean, I've lived through this song for all the revisions, all the different lyrical options. So it's been a journey for me, and it's such a relief that the journey's been so rewarding. And everyone's loving it.
I
And
think it's in the top five.
it's a
I
top five. It's also
yeah.
it's on the Billboard, like
Billboard, yeah, yeah, World
it's
global list,
globally
yeah,
on the top 10.
trending,
Yeah.
yeah,
So I think it's 11 or 12
yeah.
globally. So that's
Mm.
pretty incredible. I think the last song that did that for my career was Tere Pyar Mein,
Fair,
which
yeah.
coincidentally were the same people. So, yeah, I mean, let me sing a few lines for you.
Yeah.
I'm going to sing it lower because I've been screaming yesterday, hearing my bandmates, and I'm like, kind of.
Perfect. Yeah.
So this is like the lo-fi version. ਨੀ ਤੇਰੇ ਸੁਪਨੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸੋਹਣਿਆ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਕਦੇ ਆਵਨ ਜਾਵਨ ਦੇ ਸੁਣੀ ਹੈ ਤੇਰੀ ਦਿਲਾਂ ਦੀ ਗਲੀਆਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਕਦੇ ਆਵਨ ਜਾਵਨ ਦੇ सोनिया सवालों में मेरे तू ही तू सोनिया ख्यालों में मेरे तू ही तू सोनिया ख्यालों में ही तेरे सानू भी कदी आवन जावन दे.
Oh my God, I just got goosebumps. I don't know. It was
Thank you.
amazing. Tell us about the how did this happen and behind the scenes of what?
Behind the scenes of water. So this was, I think, was one of the first few songs that was
First.
dropped from this film.
Mhm.
Because they were shooting it in Italy, I think,
Yeah, Italy, yeah.
in Italy, and I think that happened like last year. So we've been working on this song for a very long time, actually, and so they wanted the song to be ready much before, like when it released, so that they
Mhm.
could shoot it, and they had like a lot of planning to do around this song. So for me, the most exciting and difficult thing is the secret keeping.
Yeah.
You've because I've gone and sung this song in the studio a year ago. And then for a
Yeah,
year it's just been,
sure. Oh my God, yeah.
yeah, it's just been running in my head because it's such a attractive melody.
Because Ayan Mukherjee's movies take a lot of time. Hell lot of time, I must say.
Sure. But like because I had to like just like store it in my head and like I can't sing it to in front of anybody, but the tune is, circulating in my brain. So
Uh,
that's a very tough thing to do when you're a singer and you want to keep gungunawing. But yeah, I think that's also very exciting because it's a secret that only you and like a bunch of people know, and then finally when the world gets to hear the song, it's just such a cool feeling.
So Bollywood playback often, demands a singer to match an actor's persona on screen. How do you balance that authenticity with, performance demands?
I mean, I think that I don't really think so much about it. It's just I focus on the performance of like what the song needs,
Mhm.
and usually it matches because the voice casting is sort of done accordingly, right? Like my voice, and I feel like my voice does suit a lot of A-listers because
Various, yeah,
because they have a slightly modern, like a sexy vibe. I mean,
yeah.
I've sung three pretty big songs for Kiara itself.
Hmm.
There was Kya Baat Hai, this song,
Someone, yeah.
Burj Khalifa. So
Hmm.
I think it kind of just fits, for these sexy ladies on screen. So
The peppy songs, the dance tracks.
not just that, I feel just in general it suits
Hmm.
the type of art, like
Hmm.
women who appear on screen,
Hmm.
because it's fresh but it's sexy, it's like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So, Nikita, you are an independent artist also, and you are a mainstream Bollywood artist also. So, do you how you do, these both journeys are very different in terms of everything, because with Bollywood you have major labels collaborating and everything, but
Right.
in independent artists there's a lot of struggle. So, as an independent artist as well, how do you navigate the balance between playback singing and carving out your own musical identity?
That's the tricky part, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Finding a way to be both
Mm,
and not neither.
mm,
um so that's kind of what I'm working on right now, is
mm,
sort of building a very strong identity. It's mostly, I think it's something that you should, it's a team effort, to be honest. It's
yeah.
not just I can't
Mm,
do it alone. It's my team, it's my crew, it's the agency, it's the if I get label support, then labels, all of us combined have to have the same vision, and
mm.
then only can like a pop artist be created. So that's the journey I'm on right now, to be honest, and I guess you'll see the answer soon.
So the industry is seeing, more women stepping into composing, producing, and writing. Do you see yourself exploring those avenues too?
Yeah, I have been. Like I've been doing that for years,
Oh,
and all the songs that you've seen of mine which are independent, I've written, some of which I've produced,
okay.
and composed obviously, but like
Mm,
I even do production. I've been doing that for years.
okay.
So it's just that the world knows me as a playback singer
Uh,
and doesn't know these sides.
uh,
But these sides have been existing
yeah.
even before I started singing professionally. So
Mhm. So, what role has, technology and social media played in, shaping opportunities for you in today's compared to the past?
um
Do you think that Instagram and the social media platforms and the marketing thing has worked in your favor in this time? Because in the past that it was not there that much at that time.
it definitely has made
Ah,
the level the playing field, right? Because
mhm.
everyone has access to social
Yeah.
media, everyone has access to releasing music through online platforms. So um it's very easy to get your stuff out there, which is also the like kind part of the problem, because since it's so easy, instead of 5 songs releasing in a day, there are 50,000 songs releasing in a day, because it's that easy to release music.
Mhm.
So which creates a different problem, because now you need to break the clutter and you need to
Mhm.
be heard in that noise.
Yeah.
So that's the challenge all artists have been facing.
Mm.
That's also why a lot of stuff that's not that's mediocrity is being celebrated because there's so much that's being bombarded with the audience. So sometimes really beautiful stuff. I've also discovered some really amazing artists, and then I wonder why nobody's listening to them. Um, because it's just that it's hard to be heard in all that noise.
Ah.
So that's the challenge we're facing in the world currently. So even
Mm.
though you have everything at at the tip of your fingers, you have social media, you can you can run ads also easily, but of course it's an expense. But
Mm.
that raises more difficulties because you're trying to cut through.
Mm. So, what's your take on AI? Are you using it? Is it
AI,
helpful?
of course, I think first of all, I think that we're a bit behind on this topic because the music industry has been using AI for years because
Okay.
artificial intelligence has been a part of technology in sound production and in the music industry for actually decades. And it's just that now that AI is a topic, everyone's talking about it. But
Mm.
it already, like, we
Yeah,
already
it's
had,
super trending right now.
yeah, it's just that it's a hot topic, but it existed in the in
So you use AI, right? In
of
your
course, I think I use it not in the different forms, right? Like you can make creatives with the help of it, you can make websites, you can
yes.
so things where I feel like, I can get the job done easily because especially when you're releasing independently, uh, you know, uh you have you're like at the disposal of yourself. You are your team. So the more help that you get, the more you can do on your own, I think the more empowered you will be to just
Yeah, definitely.
release your music. So, I mean, I've always been using, I've been making my own creatives, editing my own videos. I haven't used AI to edit videos yet because I like to do
Yeah,
it myself. But, it's there in so many different streams. So, definitely, I do take the help to be more efficient.
that's great. That's great. So tell me about your favorite collaboration till date.
I don't know how I can pick a favorite. um,
You tell me top three
That's so hard. I can't do that.
then.
I can't do that. I think, but one of my most,
Yeah, that
I'll
you
just,
learned from that collaboration.
I'll answer it differently. I think one of my most memorable
Yeah, maybe.
collaborations was, it's probably something you don't even know about, but because it was banned in India. uh,
Okay.
but there was a film called Muhammad Messenger of God, which
Okay.
was directed by Majid Majidi, who's a Oscar-winning film director from Iran,
Uh,
and the music director was A.R. Rahman sir,
okay.
and I was literally the voice of that film, where
Okay.
I'm like it's a film. There's no music, but I was the entire theme of the film. Like the
Mm.
whole film had my voice in it. So that was one of the most special collaborations for me because these are stalwarts. They're
Yeah.
both Oscar level artists who I collaborated with on a very large level. This film never got screened in India because it was banned. There was a fatwa on it, but I've seen it in the studio. It is one of the most incredible things I've ever seen. And for me, as an artist, it was definitely the coolest project I've ever done.
That's great. That's so. What's your take on the live music thing, the concert part? Are you doing any of the concerts in upcoming time, and how many concerts you do basically?
Um, I, of course, do a lot of gigs. Right now, it's
Mhm.
rainy season, so it's not
Yeah.
gig season, but
Mm.
last year was actually the largest number of gigs I've ever done
Mm.
in a year. So it's been very exciting to be on the road, especially because I do a lot of college and public shows. So those are the funnest audiences. I love being on stage.
Mm.
It's it's incredible to share energies with so many people, to experience them singing along with you, to receive their love, to give them love, and yeah, I just love being on stage.
Mm. So as you said that AR Rahman so discovered you. So I would love to know how, I mean, and what's your bond with him and how you look up to him.
I mean, of course, uh, I've worked a lot with Rahman sir on several different kinds of projects, commercial, very niche, like the Mohammed project also was very different, Pele, which was again an international film. So I worked tons with him and really learned a lot about my craft, especially as a studio session artist. A lot of curiosity towards the production, like you said, women are doing production. I've been doing this for years because I was surrounded by people who um love geeking out on the back end stuff of artistry, not just singing on a mic, but how do you produce sessions, how do you make songs, how do you record, how do you play different instruments. So these and it's I think having people like Rahman sir, um um and his sort of students and people who look up to him surrounding you, that create that environment. So I feel very blessed to have experienced his presence in so many different ways. It's definitely shaped the artist I am today, and it definitely created curiosity because I think the key uh, personality trait of an artist should be curiosity, like to know
Yeah.
how something is made, something is done. And Rahman sir is full of curiosity. I just love that about him, and I love that I got to experience that firsthand.
So, Nikta, what's your take on the marketing front? I mean, whenever you are, publishing or new music, so what are you indulging in a lot of campaigns and marketing stuff? What's your take on that
What's my
on
take on
social media?
marketing? My take
Yeah.
on marketing is that I wish I didn't have to do it. That's my take on marketing. That it is very interesting to understand marketing in the music biz. And I don't think I fully understand it yet. But it is in its way very interesting. But if I could, I would outsource it.
Your journey spans, classical training and the collaborations and, Bollywood blockbusters. Looking back, what's been your most defining moment so far in this industry?
I don't think I can singularize a defining moment. There have been many defining moments. Most of the moments are not the public ones. They're the ones that are very personal to me, and maybe ones that I haven't shared with the world, and but have been, like for example, the first time I sang Rapta.
Huh.
Probably that moment just came and went, and
Changed your life. Yeah.
and when the song released, I realized how important that moment was.
Hmm.
That I entered the studio and randomly, did sang a scratch for that, and I had zero expectations, hopes, dreams. I went out of the studio being like, oh, as though they're going to use my voice because it's such a big song already. And so when things happen later on, and that's how the music industry works, then you realize how important certain moments have been in your life, certain people's advice when they sort of fall into place. Then you realize, oh, what they said made a lot of sense. I didn't really think about it then, but now it makes a lot of sense. Um, so these are the defining moments I feel for the artists, the ones that we keep private and the ones that the world doesn't get to see, but they get to see the results of those moments.
So in this amazing journey, have you, seen a lot of challenges and struggles? I would love to know about.
Yes, I think
Huh.
the biggest challenge of being a playback singer is not being in control of your narrative,
Yeah.
because you're constantly sort of dependent on releases that may or may not happen,
Yeah.
timelines that are not yours. So it's very difficult to plan around that, and it makes life very unpredictable, which is kind of scary. For me, that's been one of the biggest challenges because I'm like I'm that person who's always on time. And if you tell me to come at 6, I'll be there by 5:45. So like getting comfortable with people's other people's sort of schedules, and sort of learning how to surrender to things at times is was one of the biggest challenges for me. It still is sometimes. um but my loophole is, I guess, to also do stuff that is in control.
Yeah, that's great. So lastly, Nikita, what are the upcoming projects for Nikita Gandhi? What we can look forward to in the
So
coming?
I'm working on my EP right now,
Yeah.
which is what I'm going to be dropping soon,
Okay.
which is going to feature a lot of artists I have featured with in the past, like artists whose songs I've sort of featured in non-film releases.
Releases, yeah.
So this now it's going to be my EP, and I'm going to have some
Mm,
really kick-ass people
mm,
featuring. So I'm very excited about that.
mm,
It's going to be very interesting
mm,
because I'm kind of flipping the narrative, and
mm.
uh, there's going to be, I think it's going to be predominantly hip hop, because I think
Okay.
I've been a very intricate part of the hip hop industry in India, and
Mm,
I've sung some big bangers like
yeah.
O Sajna and so many other songs with hip hop artists. So it's gonna be a hip hop ish kind of EP, and I'm very excited because I think in a
Uh,
month or two we're gonna hear some songs.
and in terms of Bollywood, what we can look for from next trending song from Nikita?
It already just dropped. The next trending song is already out.
Yeah.
It's Bali Soni with
Mhm.
Bacha from Bagi 4. I was part of Bagi 3 also. I sang Do
Okay.
You Love Me?
Okay.
Was that 2 or 3? I think it was 3. So yeah, clearly I'm
Has dropped. Okay, so tell me about that one.
yeah.
Fun.
Well, it just happened. I didn't even know it was gonna happen, and like I said, surrendering to
Yourself.
others. Yeah, but I'm very excited to be. I mean, I've sung some really cool tracks with Pacha, both in film and in non-film.
Fun.
So he's been a very important part of my
Yeah.
journey, and yeah, I mean, this is a very different song. It's very Punjabi. Bali Soni is already a known uh,
Huh.
track, a known Punjabi song.
Huh.
So, we have the OG artist on it as well, and
Huh.
I'm just excited to be a part of it.
That's great. That's great. Thank you so much, Nikita, for joining us today. It was our pleasure to have you here. Thank you. And all
Thank
the
you so
best for your all the blockbuster hits that are coming and that have been released. All the best.
Yay.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Everyone who's
Thank
on the call.
you.
Thanks. Bye.